Hello, Potomac. Grab your popcorn, grab a snack, because we're going to get into it today, okay? We are getting into it with our first podcast. So, I'm Kalia, by the way. Didn't even introduce myself, but I'm Kalia. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah.
I'm Jocelyn, and welcome to the Blue Blood Hour. We're going to have fun. We're going to spill some tea. Maybe not too much, just a little bit.
Absolutely.
And
Okay,
the
so
other people. There's Angela, Maryland Princess, Marlene, Javon, Haley, and Madison.
all right, let's get into it. So less than a week from now is Valentine's Day. So what's everybody's plans?
It's not a holiday for me. It's just a regular day,
February 14th.
Some
Day.
cheesy romance movies.
Cheesy.
Yeah.
Okay, what's everybody's ideal Valentine's Day? I'll go first. Okay, so basically you ain't gotta do too much, just nice little dinner, just gifts, and just cool it, enjoy one another's company. Something simple, not extravagant. They be going out too much. It's just enjoy your presence with
Wait,
them.
what is out too much? What's your simple
they be
date?
getting helicopters and flying over it. It never gave that. It really didn't. So
if you're not rich enough for that, just say
Okay.
that.
You can't relate. You can't relate.
Okay.
I think that's
That's coming for me.
I want all the bells and whistles. I want the helicopter.
Right.
Dubai. I want to go to Dubai.
Right.
Bora Bora. No. First I talk about company. I don't care about company.
Would y'all rather go out to a restaurant or something, or stay in? Because personally, my type of first date, or just date in general, if I'm if we plan to watch a movie, I'd rather watch it on the couch because we can cuddle and eat snacks or something. But then when you're in movies, it's y'all aren't even talking. You're just quiet.
Speak for yourself.
As long as there's I don't care where we at.
I think I'm an introvert, so I'm always in the house. So I think for a special day, I would want to go out, just so it's not like my regular everyday life. Just something different.
I definitely agree.
So are you going out this year?
Me?
Who are you asking?
Right. I already said. It's enough.
I'm staying home. Quarantine. That's my date. Quarantine is my date. I'm staying home.
Tell yourself that.
Work, go back home. Make some money.
Devontae, what you doing? You taking a little girl out or something? A little something sweet?
Me? Okay.
I felt that.
I felt that real hard.
Right, that's all he had to say.
Yeah, but shout out to, class of 22. They're doing that little secret admirer thing. Hopefully it goes well, Hopefully I might get one or two.
From yourself. No, she gonna be the one who sends it to herself.
Okay.
Didn't have to call
Hopefully
her
get a little
out
something. But yeah.
Very to all the boys I've
I'll
loved.
put my email in the chat. So yeah.
I would just say let's keep it out the chat.
But yeah, did y'all ever have elementary, middle school crushes? Your first little crush,
Don't get me started. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't even know. But I'm not going to reveal his name because we got to stay alias. We can't be putting all our information out there. But of course, I had one, a couple. Not even just one, a couple. But we're young, so I never tried anything. But yeah, something a little small.
Yeah. You could go.
Did you put a letter in his locker and say yes, no?
No.
Be mine.
Tell him. No, I did not even tell him. I was not bold. I still am not bold. Let me just say that. I would never do that.
Did y'all ever rip a piece of paper and write those little do you like me? And then write a box, yes or no?
Yes. In middle school, yes.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I got those. I never gave those.
Oh,
I got those.
It was pimping, not simping, so yeah.
And then whenever it was someone you didn't like, you would write you didn't want to be mean, so you would write maybe and then check that box instead?
No, you put no. No, don't even check it. I mean, you gotta tell them. You gotta be front with them.
My courses, I was a bit different. I used to try to bully people into liking me. Like if I liked you, I would just make, a couple jokes here and there. They might have been a little bit hurtful, but it was pure intentions behind it. So maybe
You'd be like, that's why you're ugly.
Like if they didn't get the playfulness, maybe they just weren't for me. Okay.
It builds character.
Yes, it does. Okay, and so we're going to get into the Black History Month portion of the podcast. It's February. If you don't know, that's Black History Month. Seek help, please. But it's Black History Month, guys. So I just kind of wanted to start it off by saying we have a Twitter account for the leadership, and they're having a Black History media campaign. So we're just going to shout them out right quick. Their @ is Potomac SALC _SCA on Twitter. And I talked to one of the leaders of that group. She said it's basically to promote Black History Month and allow youth, teachers, and parents to engage in fun activities that also provide them information on their history. So if you're into that, they're going to be posting quotes, having different activities, poems. So get into that, right? Okay. And the next topic for it, we're going to be talking about the anti-history textbook. I have a lot to say on that, but I'm not going to talk his head off.
Don't get me started on that. Let me just say.
I think a lot of the time, or we're in high school, we're seniors, we can speak to the fact that a lot of the time in our history books, they kind of just brush over slavery, like, oh, it was a part of American history. It was a key, valuable part. They kind of leave out a lot of key information that we don't really know about or that we weren't taught. So I think with that being said, at least for me, it was important about who my history teacher was. Like I had Fry almost all my years in high school. So he made sure we
Shout
knew.
out to him. Shout out to Mr. Fry.
Yes, Mr. Fry.
Fry.
You're a real one. Everybody needs a history teacher like you. He made sure that we knew our history, honestly, because the textbook, if you're just basing it off of that, you're going to be lost, okay? You're going to be thinking it's just, walk in the park. No, it was a lot that we don't know. With that being said, I wanted to just say a myth that people don't, a myth in like the books, like abolition. We all heard about abolition. We think, or a lot of people think that with abolition, that was just the end of slavery, but a lot of people don't know that a lot of the slave owners, they kept that away from the slaves. They were uneducated, they didn't know how to read and or write, so they kept that kind of a secret that they were actually free. So for years after the abolition of slavery was still going on, and then once people found out that they were free, a lot of the slave masters still wanted to keep that kind of enslaved mentality within the slaves. So they introduced sharecropping, which was kind of another form of slavery. They were working for next to nothing. So that's our Black history fact of the day. Abolition did not end slavery completely. It was still going on a little while after that. Did you guys want to say anything?
I read that Rosa Parks was not the first lady to sit in front at the bus. I forgot the lady's name, and that's a problem. The fact that I don't know her name is a problem. I'm gonna Google that later.
Jocelyn, but are you in my notes? I think you're in my notes, Jocelyn. At this point, you're in my notes.
My bad. Great minds think alike.
Oh,
but that kind of highlights the colorism in America.
Also, I think she was with a child, so it didn't look good for them to use her. But I feel like, but then that's a problem within itself. But yeah, we should have known that. And she was around our age, apparently. She was younger than Miss Rosa Parks, rest in peace to her. But yeah, we really should know about the real pioneers and all that type of stuff. I also read that this woman named Kathy Williams was the first and only female Buffalo Soldier in 1866. She was, she had to, fake it to make it. She posed as a male, to serve for her people, whatnot. But unfortunately, all good things come to end. So she was discovered by doctors, which led to her immediate discharge. But for her to be so courageous and stand strong for her, whatever she believed in, whatever she was fighting for, it's really encouraging because you don't hear about that type of stuff, especially like with Black people and whatnot. So
Yeah, that's real life Mulan.
for
Yes.
real, the Black version of Mulan. For real.
But how do y'all feel that some of these people are our age and they were making this big of an impact? Like, how does that make y'all feel?
I feel like it's really inspirational. And to what you said, her name is Claudette Colvin. She was 15 years old, like Princess said. She was a little bit younger than us, but definitely was around our age. And she refused to give up her middle seat. Okay, so she was in between white people, refused to move. But like Princess said, it just, for the looks of it, they wanted somebody older, lighter complexion because she was a dark skinned young woman. So they chose Rosa Parks instead once Rosa Parks did it. But I think that just goes to show that people our age, we could be the faces of movements. We are the people who kind of spark those movements. So age really doesn't play a factor because, especially this year, young people have been showing out, showing that we can make change. We are the change makers. So I think that's inspirational.
I was driving from Five Guys, I believe, and I saw a bunch of Potomac students. They were like, you know, the place across Taco Bell? They had posters, everything. And it was so inspirational. You know, I don't like the outside. I protest through social media. That's another thing. Because I personally, the outside is not for me. I'm dark. I don't want to get darker. But that's just that. So instead of doing that, I have my own way of protesting. And I feel like we should all have our own ways of protesting and stuff. But Kaylee, I have a question for you. I know that you're the only Caucasian person in the mix. How do you yourself, having a bunch of friends who are, you know, people of color, how do you show that you're, is it a bystander? Is that the word?
Ally.
Ally.
Bystander is when you don't do
I
stuff.
said bystander.
How do you show that you're an ally? Sorry.
I mean, there's like different ways. It like depends. Like, because when there was you know how there was like a bunch of like GoFundMe's and then like petitions going around because they're like, in this time, like, if you're gonna do anything, like y'all should donate to this or like sign these petitions. Like, I was trying to like, I mean, there was one day, I don't remember what day it was because quarantine has been one whole day, but I like went through this like whole Twitter thread and just signed as much as I could, and then, I mean, I don't really have a job, so I couldn't donate, but I would like retweet so that other people could see it and stuff. And obviously, like, just in general, like, as a being a good person, like, when I see people doing stuff that's like not right, I try and like tell them, like, yo, go get educated. You're being ignorant.
Literally. And it's like, it's not even about them being like, it's just they're not educated, honestly, but it's also not their fault because due to the like American educational system has faulted, like, you know, done people wrong. We're not even gonna get into that because I can go on a whole tangent, but it's really just they're not educated, and it's like that's what our main goal should be, is to educate people rather than be like, no, you're dumb. Like, no, like sit down, tell them, educate them, give them facts, give them sources. Get everybody's like, oh, what's your source? What's your source? You know, give them factual sources so they can hush their mouth and learn and then get better.
As for me, I feel like no matter what you learn in school, like if you go back home, you're going to be taught something different. So I feel like a lot of these stuff start at home. Like we weren't born with like division, racial, blah blah blah. But as you grow, you'll see your dad or your mom act like some way towards a Black person, and then you basically learn from that. So no matter what you learn from school, I feel like what you learn at home is what's gonna come outside. So yeah.
That's why I think it's like when you see, I mean, like the shows that we watch as kids are like, it's a lot different now. Like the show, like kid shows, or at least like shows on like Disney where it's like kind of like older kids. Um, it's like they put more serious things, but they do it in like a really good way. Like they talk about like racism, they talk about like LGBTQ stuff, like, and there's some parents that get mad, but I think it's like good that to start young because you're young, you're like so open-minded and like you don't care how other people are different to you because you just want to be friends with everyone.
Yeah, representation definitely matters. So I'm glad you said that because not only like Black history is being told more, but like you say, the LGBTQ community is getting more representation. I think that's good for like a holistic point of view. And also to that point, I wanted to ask you guys, sorry, Kaylee, you can't really answer this question, but it's fine. What does it mean to be Black in America to you? I mean, I know for me, sometimes, ignores the phone ringing, my house. But I think a lot of the time is sometimes people seek to misunderstand you, like anything you do. Some people, they just want to kind of count you out, and it's kind of always trying to show up for yourself because you don't know who will be there for you in terms of not even like professionally, but in terms of looking for schools, friendships, relationships. Like you don't know who is really on your team and who's just seeking out to maybe destroy you or misunderstand you. So
I think it's empowering because it's like you have like an army behind you regardless. So, and it's kind of like fun because some people underestimate, people of color, but then when you show up and show out, it's like, why do you underestimate me? Because I'm a little bit darker. I got a little bit more melanin than you. Like, it shouldn't really matter. But like, I think it's definitely empowering for me. Yeah. Javante, what about you?
You're calling me out.
No, you're not speaking, so trying to get you out.
My bad. I feel like to be Black in America, it's just a lot of fear. It's like you don't know if you'll come around a corner, someone has a gun or something like that trying to get you. You don't know. Like sometimes you can't even be safe in your own house, and then like you can't be even safe in like a grocery store, your friend's house. It's just a lot of fear going around for everyone, especially now. So yeah, that's my piece.
So as for me, of course I was born here, but then again, I have an African background. So it makes being Black a little harder since kindergarten, like being bullied for being African and whatnot. But like I feel like our generation, like we're coming together and we're overlooking some stuff, which is actually, as Princess said, it's like empowering to like have like a crowd behind you no matter what. Yeah.
And especially like us as Potomac students, we go to such a diverse school and we have such a diverse community. So it's just like that sense of support from everyone where we all acknowledge the problems going on. We're all working together to address them. It's definitely, like Princess and Angela pointed out, really empowering.
Yeah. A lot of inclusivity is what Potomac represents. I think that's why I love our school so much. It's like, yes, there's so many different people, but that just makes the school better. You get different points of views on topics. You get to mingle, create friendships and bonds with people that are different than you. So
go ahead, Madison. I saw you.
Yeah, I saw Madison.
To piggyback what Princess said, I don't know about you guys, but when I was little, I never really saw color when I went to school, but it is empowering. Growing up in a Caribbean household, I would say that my family has the most impact of what it means to be Black for me. Not only my friends, but just like being raised in that like environment and being able to see what we can do. It's definitely it's different from other cultures for sure, but it's definitely changing. And the movements and everything that's been going on today, it's different. It's like definitely opened my eyes a lot more than it has in the past. Like being in it, like you hear it in class and like you hear the stories, but definitely like seeing people's posts and everything, it definitely it's different. It's a change.
Yeah. And for me, being Black is being bold. Like being Black is a source of pride. And I never apologize for being Black. That's one thing I'll never do. And it just gives me, it's like a superpower. I know if I walk in a room, they're gonna be like, ooh, that's the Black girl right there. I know. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just love that,
Yeah.
And also being a woman, just being a minority in general, we should stop seeing that as being less than, but as being greater than. And I think that's something we all need to learn.
Yes. I love that you viewed it as like a superpower because, yes, we all know the things going on against Black people in America, but also it's like a community of us, including you, Kaylee. It's literally a community. You were talking about how you're getting into the Black issues and stuff. So I just love being Black, just especially being Black in America. Of course, there's issues going on, but being your own person, being proud of who you are and strong in yourself is very important while being Black. So love that for us, guys. Love that for us.
And Marlene, how do you feel? Because I know you're a ballerina, and I hear there's a lot of talk about Blacks and ballerinas. But how do you feel?
In relating to like ballerinas, you don't really see a lot of like Black ballerinas in general. Like Misty Copeland, she was like the first one to be in like the American Ballet Theater and be a prima ballerina. So I feel like having those people of color up there in like the ballerina world, it kind of just like tells us like, oh, we don't have to, it's not based on color. You can actually get up there. You just need to have the talent to do it. And most of us have the talent, so we're going to end up getting there no matter what.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too.
And I watched the show Tiny Pretty Things. Or is that the name? That was it was weird, but it was a good show.
Like, it was really, like, their talent is so, like, I love how they're actually good ballet performers. I guess that's the best term to say. And it's like, I'm happy that the main character is African American, and she's not, like light skin, how they usually, if they want to say diversity and whatnot. I don't want to get into it, but like, they actually put like a medium brown dark skin. It's been a while since I watched it, but like she's not like, the face or whatnot. But yeah, to see that was very empowering. I was like, oh, maybe I should have done ballet when I was little. I mean, I could have done a little 1-2-1-2 spin, but yeah, I think it was really great. The show itself is not for younger people, but it was a great representation of, people of color and stuff like that.
It definitely highlights what Marlene was talking about, and that's why I loved it personally.
I might have to watch it. Y'all talking it up, okay?
Okay. It's not, the acting is, it's cringy, but just, push through the moments.
It's a little, I feel like I could have done maybe a little bit better, but
get too ahead of yourself.
No offense to the actors, y'all did great or whatever, but y'all, you should. The plot is good. Watch it for the plot.
Hire me next time though, or Marlene. She could do a little 1-2 pirouette, whatever they're called.
No, you said it right.
Okay, so I think we should go off of what Princess said about how they don't have many Black representations in the entertainment business. What do you guys think about that?
I think they should stop picking from the 3 top: Zendaya, Yara Shahidi, and then Stormy Reed. They need to stop picking them. We're tired. I'm tired of seeing them. They have outfits every girl.
Like, yes.
Love me some Zendaya. I love Zendaya.
Don't
hate Yara. I love her, but like, I'm tired. There's so much. A bigger range, like you just let them bake a little bit more in the sun, can we get it's a start, and we've been starting for a while, and they need to keep pushing through. That's what I'm saying. Like, they started, we see it, but now it's time to actually plow through the fields and actually, get some representation, because like I can recommend you some people.
Let's start naming.
Any directors are watching, hey, but yeah,
I think they are taking like steps towards including more representation. We need so much more work, but I mean, there are shows out there like Grand Army. If any of you guys have ever watched that really brought up some really important topics on just diversity, and it brought so much diversity in general, but also talked about things like that we as teens face that I think a lot of times is like not addressed. And just addressing things that like immigration and how that could impact how somebody grows up here. It brought up so many important topics that I think it's, I don't know, like definitely steps need to be taken. And like you guys are saying about casting as well, just making sure there is that representation. But it's good to know that there are some shows out there that do kind of work towards that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, just looking at how far we've come from like having no black people, then they just doing that one black person, you know, that one black friend to be the comedic relief or whatever. Now we have shows centered around black people, but I think to what Princess is saying, the next step is to get, you know, some darker black people, specifically black women, you know, when they want black women in there, they are a bit lighter complexion. So just seeing our faces more, and I'm pretty sure that will start happening, but yeah,
Like
that's
the book is gonna say dark skin with curly hair. Then the movie gonna pull up light skin
yeah.
with curly hair. It's like, what's going on?
Biracial, like no, that's not what they meant when they said coils. Like no.
I saw this TikTok. It was about how like uh Tyler Perry versus Jordan Peele, and how like Jordan Peele really actually does a great job with like strong representation. Like, no offense, you know, I love me some blackish, but it's blackish and they're like skin-ish. So it's just it never you know what I mean? So and then there's also the black AF, but they're all light AF. So it just I mean, you know, I think we should really hold people up to like accountability and tell them to, you know, step up their game and cast some people. You know, we all trying to eat, you know, we're trying to get our bread or whatnot. So it's, you know, it helps basically. But I love how also going back to Grand Army, there's a lot of representation, like, you know, the LGBTQ community, with I forgot his name, but the guy who's trying to go to Harvard, he's also like gay, and like it personally, I'm not gay, so I don't know, but I feel like it probably helped other people who like felt that way, and you know, to like relate to him basically.
Yeah, with the pronouns and stuff. I'm still trying to educate myself on that. If anyone on here would love to help me, because they, them, I find it hard sometimes, like speaking to them, because like, do I make everything else plural? It's very hard. Does anyone want to like help and chime in?
Well, for they them, it's not the cuz you know how when you use like if I was talking to somebody about like, oh, I made a podcast with my friends, they are cool. Like I'm talking about plural people. When you're talking about one person and you use they them, it's mostly just because like if somebody's walking across the street and you don't know their gender, or you because gender doesn't equal pronouns, so if you just don't know their pronouns, you can be like they like their hair is cool. But if you're talking to just one person and you're talking to them, like me talking to you, if you're talking to me and like my pronouns are they them, then you wouldn't make it plural. You would just make it not like you would make it gender neutral. That's the word I'm looking for.
Oh, that
And
makes
like I feel like we've done that, like, you know, we use they them when we don't know, like, oh, the person, like, they did that, but then when they tell you that their pronouns are they them and you choose to like not use it, you're just being blatantly disrespectful because you've done it before, you continuously do it. So now when they say, oh, I identify as they them, and you choose not to, it's like, what is it's 2021, like, come on, like, what are you doing with your life, like,
this is that.
bro, like, what is the purpose of that? So yeah, there's definitely a need for more representation within that field, and actual, like, going back to the whole movie scene. It's really, I'm just really adding all like the directors and writers out that actually get LGBTQ people, not straight people playing. Like Sarah Paulson, my queen, she was like, she won't play a straight person basically. Like, actually get those type of people, because how are you gonna? It just creates a whole mess basically.
Yeah, but
Like
Angela, I saw you trying to say something. Sorry. Oh no, I saw your mic on mute, but Kaylee, go ahead.
because it's like I don't know, like it's just hard to explain. Like I don't know, I just don't really get it because like obviously like if there was a straight person like a character like in the movie they're straight but it's played by somebody that like isn't straight. Some people will say like, oh, there's been like gay people that have maybe played a straight person, but it's like straight people have been playing gay people or bi people. I'm just gay as an umbrella term, obviously. There have been straight people that have been playing people a part of the LGBTQ plus community this whole time, and people a part of that, like actually a part of the community, have just now been able to finally like get good roles. So it's like different. Like straight people have always had roles, so and they continue to even now, and 2021, they're still playing roles that was made for somebody a part of the community. And even like besides the community, there are people, Sia, I think, she just came out with a movie about, I don't know if it's about autism, but like I don't really know what it's completely about, but it goes along like the main character or something is autistic, and it's played by somebody that's not autistic. And when people that actually have autism were like telling her like, oh, there's these actors, you should probably like get them in it because they're actually autistic, so it'd be better for them because they actually know things. And then they were like, why didn't you pick these people? And instead of being like, oh, like I'm sorry, or trying to get educated, she replied to them and said, well, maybe they're just not good actors. And it's like, you didn't pick them. And then there was one part in her movie where the person, I think they're stimming. I'm pretty sure that's the right word. And then you're not supposed to like hold them down or anything, like, or try to do stuff like that. And in the movie, somebody's like doing that, and that's very bad. You're not supposed to do that. So even just the movie is like not very well educated on what it's trying to talk about.
Yeah, there's a show. Just left my mind. It's a show about a doctor. I forgot it.
Good Doctor.
Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor. That's my show. I don't even know why I forgot it. But yeah, he's autistic, but he's still a great doctor, whatnot. And I feel like, and I don't think that the actor himself is autistic, but that also goes to show like they should have tried. They do a good job of like showing like, no, just because he's autistic doesn't mean he can't do his job, especially such a hard job like being a doctor. He went through the schooling, all that type of stuff, and like he has taught other people how to handle. There's like this one episode, and he recognized that the patient was autistic, and he told him like, no, you're not supposed to do this, supposed to do that, that. But I feel like they also should have tried their best to get an actual autistic. Like, just try. Like, I know there's people out there that have these like they're autistic and whatnot, or LGBT, like all that type of stuff, that are also want to be actors, but they're not trying to actually get them to become like out there. It's all about inclusivity. That's the key word for the day.
Like, imagine how much more powerful it would be if not only are you playing an autistic person, but you're autistic yourself. That just goes for even young kids who are autistic to know that I can do that. Like, I can be there. And to like, even my show, Grey's Anatomy, I didn't know that one of my favorite characters, he literally left because he's a gay male, but they wouldn't let him be gay in the show. And that kind of irritated me because my favorite character could have still been on the show if y'all would have just let him be himself. Like, it really.
I know. And I know Shonda left, I think, the whole writing for Grey's, but now all of a sudden there's like the gay actor, and I'm like, where was this energy before? Like, you really didn't have to kill off my man, but it's okay. It's a work in progress. I
feel like just most movies, like the whole Hollywood everything, they never want to do anything until they're taken accountable. I don't know if that's the right wording, but like they'll make a movie and it'll be about some certain thing like LGBT or like mental illness or something. That didn't come out right. But then they'll put somebody that doesn't have that illness or isn't a part of the community, and then when people get mad at them, then they're like, oh, well, now we have somebody, so it's better now, right? Like, no, why didn't you just do it the first time?
So this isn't my belief, because I'm not trying to get canceled. But the main argument for that is that the whole point of acting is to be someone you're not. And it's like, it's not really an excuse because, the whole point of acting now is like basically the top of the billboards, all companies' boards is realism. So having someone who actually fits that description is important. It should be at the top of everyone's list. So, like, if you're having, like you're saying, a non-autistic person playing a person with autism, or a light-skinned playing a dark-skinned person, like, you can't really be doing that now.
And I'll definitely try to find documentaries. I love documentaries. I don't know why they're interesting. Like the 13th, I've watched that thing twice. Because every time I watch it, I just learn new things. And I know there's more documentaries. We'll try to add some for like Black History Month and just not even just Black History Month, but just try to get people aware of certain things because we all don't know everything. I'll say that. I'm still learning. Like I like how Kaylee taught me like how to better use pronouns and stuff. And I feel like we can teach other people. So we'll include some websites, documentaries you can watch to educate yourself.
Yeah, definitely go look at the Twitter handle Kalia mentioned earlier because they're going to be posting so many good things on our leadership class page. And also just look there for our future podcast and for forums so you guys can like give us an idea of things you want us to talk about in the future. We really want to address the things that are important to our community and everything like today's discussion. So go check there for resources like that. And we also have to shout out some birthdays. We cannot forget about that. Kalia's birthday was last week. Okay, Kalia.
Big 18, 1-8.
All right. And then like Marlene and Jocelyn Princess have a little like birthday chain almost. Like, what is it, guys?
Okay, my birthday is the 20th, and then Princess.
The 21st.
Marlene.
22nd.
Okay.
There's a couple more, like Zion's the 19th. Sierra, you know, she stayed in the womb for a little bit, so she's like the 25th, I think. But,
Yeah,
you know, February borns are the best. I don't know about y'all.
Ooh,
we're the best.
Definitely January, but we'll still shout y'all out.
January is the month of free trials, so
I
don't know about that.
No way.
Also, Baloo's birthday was the 5th, right?
And then Miss Golnick's half birthday
was also the 5th
too.
Happy belated birthday, guys!
Miss Teet's birthday was
like
the first week of February.
The 3rd, or I'm not sure, but it's on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter for more birthday shout outs, you know.
And then also Mr. Betts, you know, our artist for, you know, class of 21, have to shout him out, of course. His birthday was also last week. So just a quick little shout out. Also, shout out to Tolu because she's really doing the thing with the whole Twitter thing. Like she's applaud to her because I personally cannot do it. I don't know. I don't have the same artistic values as her, but like she's really doing it.
She's been on it. So yes, Tolu, we love you. Everybody whose birthdays, we love you. Happy birthday.
All the January and February birthdays, even though February is the best. Happy birthday to everyone. And stay tuned for our episode. It's coming out soon. So just stay tuned. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Follow my Instagram too. I'll leave that somewhere. Just follow everyone here. You know, if you want, I'll add y'all's Instagrams and Twitters and stuff.
And our school Twitter, I put it in the chat, but I'm also going to say it again. It's at Potomac, SALC _SCA. So that's how, if you want to see everything that's going on Potomac, follow that Twitter. You will not be left out. But yes, and I also put it in the chat. I don't know if they can see it, but whatever.
I can add it.
Okay.
Yes, stay tuned for the upcoming podcast because, you know, we're going to get to some real honest topics, not like the little like kitty stuff or whatnot. Also, if you have any like suggestions on what we should talk about, you can always DM us at the Twitter that Kalia just said, or if you know one of us personally, you can just always text us or something like that, or you think you may know, just text us. Like we're all open people and whatnot, and we'll probably have like some email, some things that you can like send your suggestions and whatnot to in the future. Hopefully by the next podcast that'll be all be situated. But yeah, just stay tuned because, you know, we're about to come with some heat, some, you know, real blood heat. They're not ready for us at all. They're not ready for us.
Yep. Our next one is March 2nd. Tuesday, March 2nd. So do not miss out because we are going to get into it. Whatever you guys want, like Princess was saying, we are here to talk about it.
Yes, whatever you want us to talk about, we will be getting into it. Okay, that is our podcast now.
Any other closing remarks before we end?
I think to wrap it up, like for the topics of this episode, if anybody's talking about something, like if it's a woman talking about women's issues, LGBT, any race issues, And if you don't, I mean, first of all, if someone's telling you about their experiences, just listen. And you may not be able to understand, but just listen to them so they have an outlet. And if you want to understand something, but you don't really know where to look, just if you know anybody that is of whatever you're looking for, just ask them. You're never be ashamed to ask for information.
Well, thank you for that, Kaylee. Oh, Angela?
I just want to say thank you if you've like listened throughout the whole discussion. I know it's pretty long, but like thank you. We really appreciate it.
Oh, let's like do the little YouTube thing. Oh, drop in the chat if you like Blue Blood Hour if you watch the whole thing. I've always wanted to say that.
Put in the chat.
So,
Yes, if you
put
watch
it in the
whole-
chat if you watch the whole thing or something.
Comment Blue Blood Hour.
Our hashtag getting into it. Oh, guys, we're starting something here.
Make sure to like.
And share. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, do the whole whoop de whoop.
Once
oh
we
my God, it's great.
this, we will shout you guys out that commented. So
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend and to tell a friend.
Guess that wraps it up. So everybody say bye.
Bye.
Peace.